Welcome everyone to race number 4 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship with an NBR. We are at Monza Autodromo Nazionale, and we're about to get qualifying underway for the 4th race. I'm sorry if I sound a little less energetic than usual. I feel a bit nauseous. Hopefully I'll be able to make it to the end of the race, but I'll be taking it easy for now. And here we go, race number 4 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Monza. We're about to get qualifying underway. And here we go, we're race number 4 for qualifying. This is going to be a battle for the top 2 positions, really. Unless Relampago is able to make something happen here tonight. I'm not super, no offense, but I'm not super confident that Relampago is going to be able to beat Larry the G or Mr. Sunshine. However, he pulled it off at Maple Valley with a very great drive. And this is a less technical track compared to Dubai, so we'll have to see who wins there. Ooh, Fishy's off the track in the tire wall there. Again, I said who I'd root for last time around, and I was totally wrong at Dubai. That was a very interesting race. We had our biggest grid so far for the championship. That was a great time at Dubai. We're in Italy now, and at Monza. It's a very simple track, but also very technical at the same time. It's only got 11 corners. 12 if you count the final one as 2, but it's really 11. It's mostly straightaways. The corners you do get, they're pretty simple, except for what we're going through right now, which, God, I can't remember the name of it. I'm a fake fan, I guess. It's a very fast left, right, left. And the goal is to try and hold as much speed out of the corner as possible, because you have this long straightaway in turn number 11 as we're coming around to finish the first lap. Which now we're going to be starting our first set of hot laps for the qualifying session. Hop on board with Larry B. the G, your contender for second place. A contender for first place in the championship so far. We'll have to figure out how he fares here at Monza. Monza can either be a really great or really terrible track. In last week's interviews, Sunshine was not too keen on driving here. I don't blame him. Monza's not a very great track to drive on. However, sorry, excuse me for a minute. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, I'm getting texts from family. Alright, we're good. We're back. Back into the 2 Lesbos. Turn 6 and 7, both sharp, flowy corners. All about that exit speed. 6 is a bit fast, and 7, you kind of got to throw the car right in and get a long run as we get to turns 8 through 10. It's the tricky part I was talking about. You're hard on the brakes, then sweeping the car left, and trying to get some speed back after you get it left. And you have to hold on to this right-hander, which is really difficult to do. And you have to have it set up right for the left-hander, get onto the straight, and have as good of a run as you possibly can. Sunshine's holding provisional pole so far after our first set of laps. Nothing too crazy so far, though. If 2 more races after this, the championship is winding down. Be sure to catch the grand finale at Yas Marina. A double point scoring race will cause a big upset in the championship points. The first set of laps have been completed. Mr. Sunshine holds provisional pole. Larry holds provisional second. Relampago in provisional third. And we're waiting for Chavez and Fishies to cross the line. Chavez holds provisional 4th, and Fishy's roll holds provisional 5th. On the top ticker, make sure to push back everyone's positions, because Mailman is our safety car here at NBR. He's setting laps just for fun. We ignore his times during this. Oh, don't do that. Hop back on Relampago. Oh, that's not Relampago. No, don't. There we go. Hopping on board Relampago. See if he's able to put it on the front row. It's not going to make it too big of a difference here, especially with us having a smaller grid. But a good run into turn 1 could set you up for a good defense for a good while of this race. This is one of the shorter races of the calendar, I believe. We'll have to see how they fare. I think I drank my tea too fast, which is why I'm feeling so nauseous. I have a feeling that the top 3 are going to be really close in this race. As you see, Relampago is not far off the pace of Larry B the G, at least on Larry B the G's previous lap. They're really close on time, but Sunshine has a good edge on them. We'll have to see if there's any mix-up in the laps here. Positions. No significant changes. They're all setting pretty consistent laps. Once they get close to each other after the start, it's going to be interesting, because I think we could see what we had happen at Mugello. Again, it's 3 hanging on to each other for most of the race. It could come down to pit strategy. It could come down to who's the most consistent. Just have to wait and see. On board with Chavez. Talks about having a smaller grid is that a lot of people end up in no man's land, as we see Chavez. He's got no one just right around his pace. The top 3 are significantly faster, and Fishy's is a good bit slower. No offense, it's okay to be in your own skill range. What's nice about last week's race is that we had so many people of different skill ranges. There was a good bit of people for everyone to battle. I mean, hell, Chavez came 3rd that race. To be fair, there were disconnects, but still he was able to finish strong. We'll have to see if he's able to finish strong here again at Monza. Positions are still the same as earlier. I have a feeling we are not going to see much changes. Chavez has got a good handle on that Lotus. Tossing it out of turn 10. Down the long straightaway to turn 11 to round out the lap. Sunshine setting a significantly slower lap that time. 6/10 off. Relampago also setting a slower lap that time around. Larry improving very small. Chavez overtakes Relampago for 3rd place. I believe Relampago hasn't set a clean lap yet. Or no, he has. Wait, what? How did Chavez got into 3rd with a 0:59? Oh, and we had the black screen of death. Did we lose anyone? Nope. Just a flash. Chavez into provisional 3rd position, pushing Relampago down the order. He's still on the 2nd row. Not too far down the order. Relampago dropping down the order, or you know what? I don't think Relampago set a clean lap. Fishies overtakes Relampago, and that puts Relampago into the last row on the grid. This could actually be more significant. Being 4 cars back is significantly more than 3 cars back because, you know, you got another wall of cars in front of you. When you're on the second row, you might be able to make something happen for a position or two. Dive bomb into turn 1, which is really easy to do here. And Monza, kind of just have to send it into turn 1 on the brakes. El Pago unable to move up the order, setting quick laps, but is still not clean. Oh, maybe the G experiencing some of those sausage curbs. That's the word. The brain was cloudy for a second. The sausage curbs. And I just spilled my water all over me. Good day. Beautiful camera angle there as you get to see the glowing brake rotors of the Lotus. Beautifully engineered car. For Forza, we hardly modified this car. It's basically stock. I think we added the race brake parts. I think it might be on stock tires. Could be wrong. I think it has an air filter on it. And a roll cage, I think. It doesn't have much done to it. It's a solid car as stock. British Lotus engineers are on something out of this world. Pago heading into turn 11. And down the start finish straight. Is he able to improve the clean lap? No, he's still at the back of the pack. Oh, never mind. He's back up to provisional third, pushing Chavez back down. It'll be real unfortunate if Relampago's unable to set a clean lap here. Thinks he's able to catch up to Larry. Sunshine looks to be out of the picture now, gapping Larry by a significant bit still. I believe they will need to pit in this race, so there might be some strategy involved with Larry, but we'll have to see. On board with Fishy's rule. Relatively new to MBR. Yeah, look at the fuel usage. They're definitely going to have to pit. Oh, a big lockup. Turns 8 through 10. And a little swirly through there. Keeps it clean. I think Sunshine is going to keep pole here. Larry's going to be second. Relampago's going to be third. I don't think there's going to be much shuffling of the order during this race. Then again, I don't remember the length of the race. Let me check. "25 laps. Okay, so it's a bit longer. But this is going to be a long race, actually. 2 minutes times 25, that's a 50-minute race. Eesh. Oh, and Fishy almost into the tire wall there. Off on board with our provisional pole leader. And contending for the championship. Oh, he's sitting still. He's done with his laps. We'll hop on board with our current champion. Ooh, well, current first place, and I think that was the last lap they could set. So we'll probably just see drivers do donuts, do funny things, while we wait for the session to end. He's practicing his grid starts. Larry the G with a pretty good staple on the championship points right now. Oh, and there goes Mailman flipping in the background. Natural habitat. I'm bored at the last car driving at the moment while we'll wait for the session to end. Fishy's Rule, 820. I apologize if there's any background noise. There we go. That is the end of qualifying. What a great session we had there. We'll be back in a few minutes with the grid order and the race start. Welcome back to race number 4 for the race for ALS Charity Championship. Here's our grid position of starting positions. Mr. Sunshine on pole, Larry the G in second, running our first row. In the second row, third, Relampago, fourth, Chavez. And rounding out for the final row is Fishy's Rule. The grid start, so we'll get started any second now once everybody's ready to go for race number 4 for the race for ALS Charity Championship. And here we go, we're getting started for race number 4 for the race for ALS Charity Championship and NBR. And here we go, race number 4 for the race for ALS Charity Championship is underway. We're on board with LL Mr. Sunshine as we run down to to turn number 1. The long run down to the corner. A bit of contact in the back, and Fishy's Rule is going to get a little loose. Luckily, taking out no one. That was very sketchy. We have a lot of cars packed up on each other, and it looks like Larry BG is going to try and take it the inside, down into turn number 3. Sunshine. Close to the edge. Relampago up there with him. Chavez not far behind. Who's going to have the run? It looks like they're going to be in line, but really close. So they're all in the draft. Into turn number 4. Relampago is going to dive to the inside. Larry BG is not going to have enough. Larry BG is going to go for the defensive line. He's going to switch back. That is his one move. He's allowed to move for a defensive move and move for it back to the racing line. They're all slow through the chicane, and Chavez is up in there. And they're a line of 4 cars for the lead. Going into the Lesbos, turns 6 and 7. Ooh, Larry B the G out of sorts into the turn number 6 is going to get a bad run, and Relampago is going to try and sneak it up on the inside into turn number 7. What ascent! Is he going to keep it? And a bit of contact is going to cause Relampago to lose it a little bit, but Larry's going to keep the position. Chavez runs a little bit wide. That contact is going to cause Relampago and Larry B the G to fall off of Mr. Sunshine a little bit. Now they're starting to spread out a little bit in the back here. Ooh, big cut there from Larry BG. It's really easy to cut that corner. See how this race plays out. I feel like this is going to be a real slow one today. Wow, that big hit from Relampago and Larry BG. We'll have to go over the replay to see who was at fault there. If any. If a report is filed, we'll have to investigate it. But we also might investigate it to just see, because I'm curious if Larry still had control of the corner and was already turning in before that happened. Let's see. Man, that Lotus is banged up. Up on board with our leader so far, LL Mr. Sunshine. Coming into this race, he did not sound very happy about racing at Monza, but now look at him, he's leading the race. That's got to put a smile on your face. He's in second for the championship right now, so he needs these points. Every point counts. Oh, and it looks like we might have a disconnect. Nope, just a flash for some reason. Weird. Ooh, what's happening back here? Relampago and Chavez. Is Relampago damaged from that incident? No. I'm wondering why he lost so much pace now. He's under threat of Chavez. Chavez on the attack now. He's going to get a real rough ride out of turn 5 to turn 6. I'm curious if Relampago made a big mistake that cost him a bunch of time. Now Chavez is in the mix for a second podium position. We'll see if he's able to have it. I'm rooting for another podium from Chavez. We'd love to see it. Ever since that incredible drive at Dubai in the Volvos, Chavez has been one of my top picks as a driver at NBR. Relampago is very quick. I think Relampago just got into a little bit of an incident and lost pace. Chavez to catch up. Hop back on board with our leader contesting for the championship here. Every position counts, especially with smaller grids, is that the points are more valuable. Because the lowest amount of points you can score is less than there would be in a big grid. So you have to score better and better every time, because there's like... Last place in this race is going to be scoring 5th place points. And that also means if you have a bad race, you're still scoring decent. But at the same time, everyone else behind you is also scoring decently, so you got a high value. Almost like inflation. Back on board with Chavez. Got about 2 seconds to Relampago now. This is going to be a long race. This is almost going to be like an endurance race. We're on lap number 3 out of 25. She's rolling the back, struggling a little bit on pace. But hey, finishing this race is still good points. Ooh, Chavez getting a little out of sorts. Hopping over the sausage curb on turn number 4. Or drifting out of turn number 5. Larry B. the G, who has 1.6 seconds between him and Sunshine. Check on his fuel usage right now. It's towards the end of qualifying. It looked like they were using a lot of fuel for 15 minutes of driving. We'll have to see. They will definitely have to pit once. Curious if they'll have to pit twice, because look at that fuel usage already. These things do not have... Ooh, Sunshine. Hopping the sausage curb there. These things have small fuel tanks. They're not very large. However, they're not like the least fuel efficient things on Earth. They're not a big V8 muscle car. Luckily, I think my nausea is starting to go away, so I can get back to being a little bit more energetic. Not going to push it, because if it comes back, I don't want to have to leave. And luck does not like... Larry getting a really good run out of the final corner. Brought up about 6/10. Correction on the build. They have thin race tires, so they're basically stock race tire. It's just the stock tire size with the race tire compound. These cars are really, really close to stock. And they've been modified to be a little bit more racy. More like race cars, but it's not too much different from what you'd get on the road. I mean, you're not going to get racing slicks on a road-going car. That's not a good idea. Oh, did we lose someone? Relampago with a DNF! Oh, no. Second week in a row with a disconnect. Relampago gets another DNF. The NBR ALS Charity Championship race. This also means Chavez is in it for another podium place if he finishes where he is. Now, do note, we're down to 4 cars. So if we have one more DNF, we will red flag the race and have a restart on whatever lap was previously completed. So this could throw a big wrench into it. Relampago could get back in the race if there is another DNF. That means at any part of the race, there could be a red flag. This is our rule to keep things competitive. We have a minimum of 4 drivers allowed on track. If it goes below that, we red flag the race to allow there to be fair competition. Because it's just a free podium for everyone who drives, basically. If we're unable to get that much attendance, we might make it a non-point scoring race, just so that everyone can drive and have some practice. Or we might reschedule it. We'll have to see. It's really unfortunate that Relampago got that DNF 2 weeks in a row. But there is a chance for him to come back. If he sticks around, might be able to rejoin if there is a red flag. So far right now, we're still green, and we're still underway. Real unfortunate for Relampago. Larry B. the G getting a little bit closer to Sunshine now, as we might see a battle here appearing in a few laps. Within almost half a second now, they're very close on pace now. I think Sunshine is a little bit slower in some areas and faster in others. They're kind of expanding and contracting their gaps. Chavez just has to finish this race. He just has to run it to the end, and he will get a 3rd place finish. 2 times in a row. That's what you get for attending. Good points. It's a battle we have to keep an eye on. Sorry, I kept the dash on. I didn't mean to do that. 5 out of 25 laps. Rounding out lap number 5, they're coming to turn number 11. Larry B the G and LL Mr. Sunshine. These are championship contenders right now. Now with Relampago DNFing, he did finish the double points race, but this could put Chavez in a pretty good position on points, actually. Let me double check that. Let's pull up the leaderboards. We'll do some math real quick. So Chavez has 38 points. Relampago has 57. If Chavez finishes in third, he's going to get 16. Which is going to put him right behind Relampago. Really close on points. If Relampago keeps up this unfortunate trend of disconnecting, that might be Chavez's third place to contend. And Chavez, all he has to do is race to get that place. That rhymes. Let's see how this plays out, though. Between the top two, there is still one more double points race at the end of the season at Abu Dhabi. That race is going to be the championship decider, and could put a wrench in some people's plans. If you miss that race, it's going to be a big kickdown. If you missed the double scoring race the first time around, you might be able to make up some points coming into the finale. This is also, the finale is a good way to say goodbye to the old variation of Abu Dhabi and saying hello to the new one coming in the Forza Motorsport. I believe it was confirmed coming soon. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I don't have any inside information. This is just word around the block. Gap between LL Mr. Sunshine and Larry V the G has been going back and forth. Larry's been struggling to get it under half a second here. Hopefully the draft is able to pull him in as he gets a little bit closer here. Each lap by lap. Yeah, look at that draft. 0.4 now. Larry's getting a really good run out of the final corner. Better than Sunshine. But Sunshine is a lot faster than the rest of the lap. It's not going to be close enough to make a move here unless he's going to try and send a big lockup from Larry. Ooh, and he gets it under control and stops it in time. The issue is trying to send it too hard here can cost you a lot of time because of how simple the track is. It's a lot of straightaways. Little mistakes cost big time because every second you're not on the throttle out of a corner, you're losing time. You can see Larry is in the draft here. Under half a second, now back up to half a second. Up 7 to 25. Wow, Larry got a pretty good run there. Sunshine was struggling a little bit out of turn number 5. Going into the first Lesbos of turn number 6 and the second Lesbos of turn number 7. Now here, I'm curious how they're going to play this. Because if Larry starts to contest this position, it could compromise either his run or it could compromise both of their races this early on. We still got a lot of race left as we're only on lap number 7, about to round out to lap number 8. Is pushing for track position worth it now, especially if they have a round of pits coming up, when that's when he could acquire track position? We'll have to see. There could also be a lap traffic that they might have to deal with. It's only one car, but lap traffic is difficult to deal with on this track, and wow, Larry is a lot quicker into turn 11 this time around than Sunshine. He's going to run it out wide as possible, putting half the car over the line there. Just enough as you're allowed. And Larry actually does not get a better run so far, but is in the draft, so we'll have to see. The bump drafting in this game is a little broken. When you get close enough to somebody, they start accelerating a lot faster. We go into turn number 1 once more. Ooh, Sunshine getting a little wide there. That compromised his exit at all. Looks like they're about equal on pace. These two have been rivals since day one in this championship. Maple Valley was not a great, they didn't finish really close together. Larry was having a real rough race at Maple Valley. Still finished third, good finishing positions. But that third place finish might just throw a wrench in Larry's championship points. Because if he finished second that race, I think he would be ahead of Sunshine. Sunshine has not had a good winning streak so far. Second place is every single race so far, I think. If I am correct. Let me pull up the leaderboard. Yeah, Sunshine has finished second every single race. However, he has 3 points worth of extra points for fastest laps. He got 2 for his fastest lap at Magello, the Enduro. Larry also got a fastest lap. Yeah, Larry, the only thing that's keeping Larry from overtaking Sunshine in championship points was that third place finish in the first race. However, if he finishes second, if he finishes in the top 2 and beats Sunshine at Abu Dhabi, I think he will win. I could be wrong though. Ooh, Sunshine getting a little bit of a gap from Larry B the G. 1.1 seconds splitting him now. You gotta think, how worth it is it to push hard to catch him now? Should we just wait to push? Should we push now, get track position? Should we wait for pits to try and do it? Because the harder you push the car, the more likely you are to make a mistake. If you make a mistake, it's going to cost you a lot of time. Ooh, wow, Sunshine got a really good exit out of turn number 2. On the run down to turn number 3, and now on the run down to turn number 4. Chavez and Fishy's running their own race. They're just hot lapping at this point. I've been in those shoes. Still scoring good championship points, and finishing races and championships that don't have prizes kind of feels less important. But here, you could win a prize for just showing up to every race. And we have 2 races after this one to round up the championship. It's coming to an end. Pull up the schedule. I can't remember what's next in these things. We have so much stuff going on at NBR. Next week is at Catalunya for 30 laps, October 1st. And the final race of NBR, this is actually the final race at NBR for Forza Motorsport 7, will be at Yas Marina on October 8th for double points endurance race. It's going to be a long race. 35 laps that night. Look at this, Sunshine's starting to pull away. I'm curious if Larry has damage. Oh. I think he just might be backing off. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do this entire race without one stop. If you were able to save enough fuel to one stop, you'd be way slower. I mean, to no stop, not one stop. They're all going to one stop, most likely. 15 laps left. So a good bit of racing left to go here at Monza. Unfortunate series of events for Relampago, disconnecting really early on the race, forfeiting more points for his championship run. He was looking really strong here today too, other than one incident early on, but he still had good pace. It's really unfortunate to see. He had a solid run at Dubai. He's going to probably score third position points. Now Chavez in third position for a second podium so far. Almost panicked for a minute. I thought we lost somebody. I think one of our drivers got disconnected from the VC. Keep an eye on the battle between Larry B the G and Sunshine as we hop on our podium contender, Chavez. Looks like he's gonna have to pit for fuel soon. Ooh, you know what? No, we're going back to the lead, because this might get interesting. Look on the map! They're catching up to lap traffic. I'm so excited for the new game to have fuel strategies. That's when people are really gonna start, you know, pulling out some real cool strategies. Specifically Larry B the G. I bet he's gonna have some incredible cool strats. Ooh, Sunshine a little bit off the track there. I don't think that's gonna be a penalty. It could result in a warning if he does it multiple times. An 01.56 is the fastest lap so far from Larry B the G. I forgot what the tenths were. Hard on the brakes in the turn 1. And we can see the lap traffic up ahead. We'll have to see how they handle this. Lap traffic is what caused a lot of the safety cars at Atlanta yesterday. 2 safety cars for that race. All that being said, 2 safety cars is not bad for a 2.5-hour race. We've had 5 in one race, I believe, at Long Beach. I think it was in Formula E. That was a bad race. It was really bad because I DNF'd from it. Ah, okay. So the current best laps right now from our resident guy on track, Mailman, our safety car driver, is that Sunshine has a 56.9 clean. Larry has a 56.6 dirty. So if Larry wants to get that best lap bonus point, he's going to have to make that lap clean. Thank you, Mailman, for the information. And here we go. We're getting real close to Fishy's rule. Lap traffic now. Blue flags will be waved. He has to yield to the position. He doesn't have to give up his race pace for it, but cannot contest the position from Mr. Sunshine and Larry B the G. This race has had some bad incidents at Magello from lap traffic incidents. We'll have to see how this plays out. Going to turn 11. I actually see somebody dive into the pits here. Keep an eye on the pit entry lines and pit exit lines. We could see warnings or penalties given out for people who cross those tonight. Sunshine getting the benefit of the draft of Fishy's rule down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Is he going to be able to pass him before the chicane? I don't think so. Sunshine's on the brakes real early. I think he's planning to pass him of the chicane. Fishy's rule is going to get in the wall. Ooh, it's on the brakes. That was really close. Luckily, Fishy's rule knew not to rejoin there, as that would have been really bad. Props to Fishy's rule for that good car control. Lost it. Instead of rejoining, decided to brake and let him by. Lap 12 out of 25. The gap between Larry B the G and Sunshine has grown a good bit now, but we'll have to see if that comes down at all. Number 8 versus the number... Oh, goodness. What is Larry's number? I'm forgetting. Number 5. Larry B the G. G. With that new livery once more. Beautiful. Martini livery. Versus the blue and yellow of LL, Mr. Sunshine's Bilstein. And a quiet race so far. Nothing huge happening. We still gotta... There's a lot that could happen that could shake up this race entirely. There could be a red flag due to another DNF. There could be a crash. Let's see a possible safety car. You know what? I wish there was modding capabilities in Forza Mailman, because being able to like put a Mr. Sunshine into the pits. Also, Larry B the G follows him behind. Mr. Sunshine's gonna have a faster pit stop because he out-qualified Larry B the G, but not by too much. Sorry, I was distracted by chat to see that. Looks like Chavez overtaking lap traffic back there. Sunshine out of the pits. Larry following in suit. It's probably going to be their one stop for the race. They need to make a second. I doubt it. Yeah, I wish there was modding capability so you could play like a movie in your car in Forza. That would be really cool. Another car into the pits. Chavez also pitting on the same lap. Sishi's Rule is going to unlap himself. Number 13 out of 25. Sishi's have enough fuel to keep going? 9%. Wow, that transmission is destroyed. 56%. That's not healthy. However, we'll see if Fishy's able to hold on to fuel. Keep an eye on the gap between Larry B the G and LL Mr. Sunshine. We might have a car that runs out of fuel. I think 7 will get you around on this track. We'll have to see. Oh, Fishy's running in deep into turn number 4 and 5. It's going to hold on to it. It's also a good angle because we'll be able to see Sunshine and Larry passing lap traffic. 6% on Fishy's Rule. Because if Fishy's runs out of... Oh, that was a sketchy spot to have to pass him. But Sunshine and Larry B the G are going to get by easily. So Larry B the G might get held up here. Just, unfortunately, Fishy's Rule sandwiched in between the leaders here. 5% of Fishy's Rule. I believe he's going to make it to the pits. Oh! Huge contact between Larry B the G and Fishy's Rule. No damage sustained to Fishy's Rule. Or Larry B the G, hopefully. I think Larry was not expecting him to break that early. 3%. See if he makes it to the pits. I believe he will. If he stays out, then we'll definitely have a DNF and a red flag. %. Yeah, he's gonna make it. Fishy's Rule into the pits, makes it on gas. We'll hop on board with our leaders. Larry not taking any damage from that incident, luckily. Now that means Fishy has been relapped by the leaders. At 14 out of 25. Larry the G still sitting in the wake of LL Mr. Sunshine. Out of the draft now. We'll see if he's able to make that gap close a bit. You have to be so precise on this track. Every little thing amounts to so much time. Specifically, exiting corners. If you can't get a good corner exit, you're going to lose a lot of time. And on the brakes, too. Ooh, Larry skipping over the sausage curve there. .3 seconds splitting. There's a lot that can happen still in this race. 14 out of 25 laps, rounding out in lap number 14 into 15. The top two almost within a second. There's only 4 drivers on the track, which means it is shaky whether or not if there will be a red flag. If one person DNFs, we have a red flag, and if we can't get enough people back in the race, or if they leave, the race will finish as is. See how this goes. Anything could happen. We could have a race restart. There could be a safety car. The top 2 could battle it out. Chavez could win the thing. Who knows? Which is a really quiet, calm race until we start getting into the ifs. Larry with the G bringing down the gap between LL and Mr. Sunshine below a second. 8 seconds split them now. Larry the G getting a good run through turns 1 and 2. The gap is closing between the two. It looks like Larry is pushing it now. See if he's able to catch LL and Mr. Sunshine. He's still got a good bit of race to do it. They're getting a good run. 0.6 splitting them now. 0.5. Ooh, Sunshine getting squirrely out of turn number 8. So he's able to keep it. Got a really good run though, surprisingly, for getting so squirrely. Final corner rounding out lap number 16 out of 5. On to lap number 17. Larry's getting in the draft now. On the start-finish straight. Back to a half second splitting him now. Larry's gonna have to keep pushing. He was pushing real well earlier. Then backed off towards the end. Towards when the pit window was opening. It was not a required pit window, but like where you would think you would be expected to pit to make it the whole way through the race. Point 4. Larry's catching very slowly but surely. 17 out of 25. Larry's real good on the brakes in the turn number 4. Is right on the back of LL Mr. Sunshine. Here it comes. Towards the end of the race, things might start to get a little spicy between the two. Maybe the G really needs these championship points. Sunshine also needs these championship points. I got it twisted. I thought Larry wasn't winning the championship for a while. I'm very off today. Larry is winning the championship, but he does need extra points to hold the championship. Sunshine is contesting the championship place. Sunshine really needs these points, but Larry also needs these points to stay on top. We have battle to the end between these two. If they make it to every single race, it's going to be down to the wire at Yas Marina. Half a second. Larry's getting a good run through the final corner so far. We'll see if he's able to exit just as fast as he did enter. But he lost time. Nope. Not even. He's getting real close now. The closer on the draft, the more effective it is. Sunshine's going to go for a defensive line. Larry's going to stick to the outside onto the racing line. And Larry B the G makes the overtake going into turn number 1. And is going to secure the position on lap 18 of 25. Larry the G is the leader of the race for now. It looks like Sunshine let that happen. I'm curious if Sunshine is doing something we don't know. It might be strategic. Maybe he's thinking, instead of wasting pace trying to battle him, I'm just going to let him by, and I'm going to slot back into his draft and overtake him again later on. That's a risky strategy, but it's definitely doable. It's a didn't look like Sunshine argued with that position too much. He was on the brakes earlier. Than you'd normally think he would be for that corner. He's losing pace, actually, a little bit. Does Sunshine have damage? No. Never mind, he's catching back up. Lots of seconds splitting them. They're still right on top of each other. Sunshine's going to have the draft coming out of turn number 10. Is he going to overtake him again? To get back at the position, Sunshine was looking to the inside, but Larry was slowly moving to the right before. Onto the brakes, into the final corner. Turn number 11, onto the front straight, and Larry's running really wide. 4 wheels off the track there. Sunshine's going to get the overtake. That was clean as a whistle. What an incredible overtake from LL Mr. Sunshine. And Sunshine's back in the lead. But Larry is not far behind. 19 out of 25. I think this is where we're going to start seeing action. Drivers are going to start getting desperate as they're running out of time. Larry with a bit of a lock up into turn number 1. Gets the car stopped though and rotated. They're getting a really good run out of turn number 2. Is Larry going to go for the move into turn number 4? I doubt it. This is not really a great passing zone. No, he's not. He's too far back. Slotting behind LL Mr. Sunshine for another lap. Larry's got that benefit of the draft helping him. Makes any mistakes here, he has a little bit of a cushion to fall back onto is the draft, Mr. Sunshine. Pushing it into turns number 8 and 10. And there. 8 through 10. Here we go on the back straights to turn number 11. Rounding out lap number 19 to moving on to 20. 5 laps to go. Well, 6 if you include lap. Ooh, lock up for Larry. He's trying to get as close as he can to Sunshine on the exit there. He's really close. Who's going to get the better run onto the start-finish straight? Like Larry's got a really good run in the draft here. On the back of Mr. Sunshine. Into turn number 1. Hard on the brakes. I think they can one-stop this race. Can they not? They might not be able to one-stop. Hold on. It's going to be close. Larry the G gets another overtake. Sorry, I was distracted. Mailman suggesting that there could be this might be a double stop. And Larry the G has been lifting and coasting in the draft to catch back up. At the end of lap number 12. Yeah, they might need to pit again. Look how close Sunshine is, though. They keep pushing each other, though. They might run out of fuel. It depends on what they're at now. This is a big game of strategy now. This was a one-stopper, to be honest. It looks like it might be a two-stopper. And look at the run Sunshine gets. He's going to try and get around the outside here. Going down the straight to turn number 8. 8 through 10. It's going to be side by side. Beautiful. Hard on the brakes. Oh, they're both going to have compromised lines going through here. But Sunshine gets the overtake, and Fishy's rule stopped on the side of the track. He's been lapped once. If he's lapped one more time while he's stopped, he will have to retire. And if he retires, that means there will be a red flag. Is there any reason why Fishy is stopped? Lap 20 out of 25. Fishy's is moving again. was about to say, this is not how you'd like to end it here. Red flag when you're battling so close together. Fishies is moving though, so we're good to go. Hard on the brakes into turn number 1 once more. 21 out of 25 laps. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Maybe the G is still all over Mr. Sunshine. Running out of track. They've been going back and forth for a while now. .2 splitting them. This is going to be a real close battle. Larry's about to got 35% now. How much Sunshine has? 34%. They're about equal on fuel by 1 percentage difference. Have they been saving, or have they... I don't know. This is going to be real close on fuel strategy. We'll keep an eye on the fuel. Is pitting or not pitting right now is going to be winning or losing. I think they're going to make it. Maybe G right there on Sunshine. Trying to find an opportunity to pass. He might be able to get one out of the final corner. Start finish straight. We'll have to wait and see. We'll keep the dash up so we can keep an eye on the fuel gauge in the top, the bottom right there. Wow. Larry is glued to his rear bumper there. See who gets the better run out of the corner. It looks like they're about even, but Larry's gonna have the draft now. Is he gonna be able to send it into turn number 1 is the question. Sunshine sticking to the racing line. Hard on the brakes. Larry's gonna stay behind a little bit of lockup tire smoke from Sunshine. They're still staying together. Lap 22 out of 25. Sunshine's still leading the race, with Larry very close behind. Keeping an eye on the fuel in the bottom right-hand corner there. 28% on Mr. Sunshine. I think this is enough. I think they can finish it on this amount. I'll have to keep. Well, you know, we'll check next lap to see how much they burned. Actually, we can kind of see. We checked last lap. Sunshine was at 34. Is at 27. Oh, I can't do mental math very well. 34, 27. So you're burning 7% a lap. He was on 27%. Divided by 7. About 3.8 laps remaining of fuel. At that point, basically. I think that's just enough to make it and finish the race on this tank. We'll have to see. His usage could increase because he's battling with Larry B the G here. He's on the throttle longer, he's on the throttle earlier, trying to get better exits. Ah, that's a weird angle. Larry B the G getting a really good run out of the final corner. But it's going to slot back in behind. Oh no, he's... is he going to slot in behind? No, he's trying to contest it. Yeah, he's slotting back in behind. Look how close they are as they're going down into turn number 1. Lap 23 out of 25. Hard on the brakes, and Larry B the G is going to send it on the inside. Hyde is going to try and hold it. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Sunshine running a little bit wide on the exit there, as you should. Larry B the G is not going to get the position, but it's going to contest it, and it's going to slow Sunshine down a little bit. Up 23 out of 25. %21 of fuel remaining from Mr. Sunshine. Sunshine needs these points for the championship. But Larry also needs these points for the championship to hold his position first. This is a really close battle between the two. I was not expecting to see them this close. Larry benefiting from the draft, pulling him along. Fuels might start looking tight now. Oh, and Larry's going to dive to the inside. A huge dive bomb. Oh, a little bit of contact, and Larry's going to get a little squirrely. He saves it, though. They both save it. Heavy contact between the two. Larry into the side of Sunshine's door. That was a far back dive. But, I mean, he almost lost it all there. Spun out, but kept it. You can see he's starting to get a little antsy. 17% on Larry B the G. Hard on the brakes into the final corner. He's going to end lap number 23 on about 15%. He has 2 laps to go. So 15% divided by 7. That's going to get you to the end just barely. And look at Larry B the G diving to the inside again. Sunshine's going to give him a lot of room. He's going to let him secure the position. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there as Larry gets caught in the sausage curve there. And Larry B the G is leading the race once more. Sunshine contesting. Sunshine needs these points for the championship. Look how glued he is to his bumper right now. He's going to try and swing to the inside here into turn number 4. Hard braking zone. We'll see if he's able to swing it. No, he goes back to the right. Curious if Larry went for a defensive line. Ooh, a little bit of skip over the curb there. I'm just going to get a little less of an ideal run. If he has less than 7% when he crosses the start-finish line, they might be in trouble. 12%. It's getting a little hairy for Mr. Sunshine. Aboard Larry, who's starting to pull a little bit of a gap now. Oh, almost up to a second between them. 12. Wow, Larry's not doing too good on gas. Depends on how much he's using, though. He might have to start lifting, coasting through this final lap. On the brakes. They're going to be really close on gas. If Larry runs out in the final lap, it's game over for him. So you have to be full throttle down these straights or else you're going to lose so much time. Sunshine losing a whole second now to Larry. Sunshine all out of sorts after Sunshine got that pass. 9%. Up to 8. Then back to 10. He's going to round the final corner. Here's the thing. If Larry starts lifting, coasting, he's going to start losing times to Sunshine. As the white flag is out for Larry B the G and Mr. Sunshine is across the line, he's 8% of fuel. I think he's going to finish this race on 1%. Ooh, just barely, actually. Hard on the brakes here, Larry B the G into turn number 1. Sunshine has more fuel, so Sunshine could theoretically push harder, not have to worry about fuel. For Mr. Sunshine to see his fuel situation right now. He's on 6%. Oh no, Mr. Sunshine actually has less fuel than Larry B the G right now. They're really close, though. Have to see how this plays out. 6% on Mr. Sunshine. I'm on board with our race leader, who also has 6, but now he's down to 5. I think this is still enough, though. I think he will make it around, finish the lap. There's no rim to lift and coast here, because Sunshine is right there. He's 4%. Up to turn number 8. It's going to be close. I'm board with Sunshine to see his fuel situation. He's on 3%. Sunshine might run out. Like, he's still going to be able to finish, but he's going to be a lot closer than Larry B the G. Hop on board Larry B the G to keep an eye on that fuel. Now Larry's on 3%, but I think he's on late. He got on 3% a little bit later than Sunshine did. 2% down the back straight. He is going to cross the line with 0%. I believe. Into the final corner. Hard on the brakes. 2% of fuel remaining for Larry B the G. He's rounding out the final corner to the start-finish straight. The checkered flag is waving for Larry B the G, who wins another race at the Race for ALS Charity Championship. He wins at Monza on 0% of fuel. On board with LL Mr. Sunshine, who also crossed the line with 0% of fuel. Those are your top two finishers here. Sunshine, fortunately, losing out to points there. Had a great race. Fortunately, made a few mistakes towards the end and lost it. I don't think he was confident with the amount of fuel he had. But we'll check out the post-race interviews to see what happens. Chavez might be in trouble, though. He might run out before the line. We'll have to wait and see. %. 0%. He's out of fuel. Oh no, Chavez. Is he gonna make it around? He's on 0% fuel and almost has a chance of this podium. Is he gonna make it? He's coasting. Going real slow. The engine's cutting out. He crosses the line for another podium position. And now we have Fishy's rule. We'll watch finish out his final lap. checkered flag is waving for Fishy's rule. 8-2-0. And there we are. That is the end of race number 4. The race for ALS Charity Championship. Let's go over the provisional results real quick since we have a short list tonight. We'll go over that before we do the post-race interviews. Larry with the G, fortunately not getting the best lap bonus point, but winning another race in the RFA Championship. Followed shortly behind by Sunshine, who gets a bonus point for the best lap. Followed by third place Chavez, finishing in third place once again, getting pretty good points. And fourth, Fishy's Rule, unfortunately, with a DNF Relampago. Alright, stay tuned for post-race interviews, and we'll be right back. Alright, Larry B. the G. Another race win in the RFA Championship, and another close call on fuel. What a great drive. What are your feelings about tonight?
That one definitely felt a lot better than a lot more controlled than last week. Mainly because I kind of actually prepared the strategy beforehand this time, but this time I did not account for racing someone at the same time while trying to save fuel, so that was interesting.
Yeah, it was... After Mailman pointed out to me that you guys might not be able to one-stop it by just going flat out, I was watching your fuel go down and I'm like, oh my god, it's going to be down to the wire. And you just, while fending off Sunshine, managed to finish on 0%.
Yeah, so we're both kind of like
Good.
lifting and coasting. We were both saving fuel at the same time, and I think like with like 5 or 6 laps to go, I think I kind of realized like if I'm going to win, I'm probably going to have to try to save enough fuel to go flat out for a lap or two, and then just gun it in like an all-out like Tour de France style sprint and hope I just get to the line with fumes. So that was pretty much my thinking on that.
And hey, it worked. It was a great strat, as you came home with another win.
Yep.
It was a great drive, and hope to see you next week. You're doing pretty well in the championship standings with another back-to-back win.
Thank you.
Alright, next, Mr. Sunshine. Another second place! It feels like you're doomed to this spot. Goodness gracious. It looked like you had the race for a while there. What happened?
So Larry was more prepared than I was because I only figured out that I was going to have to save fuel by looking at the percentage of fuel that I used during qualifying. Mm-hmm. So I spent the first half of the race just kind of like fuel saving on a whim to see if I could make it. I also thought that the race was 30 laps, so I spent the first like 12 laps of the race just like sweating because I was like, there's no way you could do this on one stop. Like, I'm not gonna make it to lap 15. And then like around like lap 10, I realized that the lap count was actually 25 and that I might have the ability to like save my strategy. So I started fuel saving pretty heavily. And then Larry and I both pit at the end of lap 12. I was like pretty certain that we were both going to end up doing the same thing all the way to finish, so I was super comfortable because I was the one in front, and so I was like, well, I just can't, like, I can control how much we all save, because if he wants to push to get past me, he's going to have to, like, actually do that. And I was feeling pretty confident through Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. Like, I would consistently pull like 1 or 2 tenths out there, so I was like, I really don't know if like he can actually like go for an overtake and commit. And then I just kind of spent the rest of the race doing math and hoping I was saving enough, and Larry started pushing a lap before I confirmed that I could make it to the end, so at that point I was just hanging on, and I didn't want to run out of fuel because then Chavez would have passed me. So as soon as Larry made his move, that was like the perfect time to do it, and he just executed it very cleanly.
He had great pace though, and this is probably going to be a battle to the end. From the looks of it.
Yeah, I'm actually doing the points on my own spreadsheet right now because I want to know.
What is it going to take you to win?
Well, so as of the end of this race, looks like Larry will have 117 and I'll have 104. So I'm 13 points behind Larry. And there's a 5-point difference between first and second. Oh, but the last race is double points. It's definitely still on the
Yep.
cards. I will figure it out later, but I'm fairly certain that in order to win, I can't finish second. Like, I think I have to win the next two races. Not sure how the
Yeah, there's
fastest lap
always a
plays
chance
into
that.
it, but
How do you feel confident going into Catalunya?
yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Catalunya, and the way the car's set up right now, I think it'll be all right there.
Oh yeah. All right, can't wait to see you next week, continuing this battle for the championship.
Thank you.
Great drive. Next on the list, Chavez, another third place finish. I mean, you're racking up the points now. You might be in if you keep getting this luck, you might finish third in the championship.
Yep. I was on the thinking at the very beginning on the first stint. I was like, all right, if Sunshine and Larry pit, they're probably not saving fuel. So I was hoping
Mhm.
for them being a different strategy. Not, I don't think I could catch up. My second stint was pretty bad, but at the beginning when they pit, I think I was close enough that if they had to pit again, I feel I was in contention. But on lap 16, I crashed, and then on lap 22, I think I did the same thing. So that messed me up.
Mm.
So I gripped up the car, so I'm happy about the setup now. Because on the
Yeah,
other
that's good.
race, I was like sliding everywhere. Every time I get out of corner, I was just lining up the tires. So I think I just had to clean up my consistency, like in the long run, in the next
Mhm.
races, and hopefully I can have a better fight with Relampago. Hopefully he doesn't have the issues he's been having, and
Yeah,
that way I'm not all alone on the race. I mean, I lost some podiums the same way he has, so not the way you wanna
it's
get it,
never
but
fun.
at the same
Yeah,
time, for now, maximizing results. Hopefully, I can keep up being on the podium for next week.
yeah.
Catalunya is
Hopefully.
a track I like, so I should be even more prepared for that one.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to see you racing there.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, thank you for racing tonight. Thank you all. I'll hope to see you guys next week.
Coin, I've got some championship loadouts if you want them real quick.
Go ahead, fire away.
Yeah, so if Larry wins at Catalunya, he wins the championship. It doesn't matter if he gets fastest lap or not. This is
Okay.
assuming 1-2 finishes, by the way.
Mhm.
So if Larry wins at Catalunya, he puts it in the bag. And if I win the next two races, but Larry gets both fastest lap points, he wins the championship by one. So I have to
Holy moly.
win both races and get at least one fastest lap point.
So it's on.
It is odd.
It's the end. Good luck to both of you. You
Alright,
know,
down to the end.
hat gloves, And that rounds up race number 4 for the Race for ALS Charity Championship at Monza. Coming up next week, we have 3 events. Final race for the TFG Championship for Forza Motorsport 7. That will be at... Pull it up on my phone. A little disorganized. Final round will be at Daytona Sports Car Circuit. Final race of the last tour special event series will be at the Green Hell this Saturday, Porsche 911 GT2 RS. And the 5th race of this championship, same time, same place, at Catalunya. And then one last event after this. One last race after this at... having a stroke. I can't remember what I was going to say. We have one last race after Catalunya for this championship, which will be the last event for NBR in Forza Motorsport 7 at Yas Marina. Can't wait to see you all there. Peace.